getting drafted by another franchise. So I mean, it's I ain't gonna say it's night and day because you know um, my family is back home. Some of my close friends still. A lot of things from back home like molded me, and that's definitely where my foundation is. But you know, I'm in a different space in life right now, and I'm definitely different.
All right. Next question we have is from Eric Wilson. Eric, you may ask your question.
Jalen, I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you, sir, given the space that you're in and you're out in LA playing with this amazing team, you're a great athlete. Can you just speak to staying in the moment and not letting the outside distractions maybe affect you this week?
Um, yeah. I mean, that's part of um, trusting the process. I guess you could say it's part of trusting the process and being completely present. Like you know, that's not. It's not just this week. It's life in general. You can always get distracted, so you always have to try to regain your focus, renew your mind, and stay tapped in into what's presently going on in your life. So, I mean, obviously, things that help me are staying grounded in my faith, and I got great people around me, great support around me that helps me do that. And it's no different this week for me. Obviously, this is a moment that I'll forever cherish and remember, but I still have to stay focused, remain where I'm at in the present, and lean on my faith and my support system, everybody around me.
Talk to me about Coach Raheem Morris, the impact he's had on you, both professionally and personally.
Yeah, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand professionally and personally uh, with me and Coach Ra, just because like the first thing I think about is like leadership and how great of a leader he is and how he has taught me and challenged me in different ways that I've never been taught or challenged on how to be a better leader. And you know, being a leader, obviously, they want me to lead out here on the field, you know, with the secondary or with the defensive guys or even the team. But that spills over into my my personal life as well. You know, being a leader of my household, leading my family, leading my kids, being a good example, all those type of things. That's probably the most important thing that um, that's kind of Coach Rod has helped me with and helped me grow and taught me. It's just different leadership capabilities and opening that different side and different level of me.
I appreciate it, sir. Best of luck. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Michael, are you there? Michael Irvin?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. Hey, Jalen, what's up, man? It's Mike Irvin. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing well, Jalen. I got to jump right into this thing, man. All I've been thinking about this week, man, is you and Jamar Chase. That one-on-one battle out there. I'm like the biggest fan in the world for this battle. Now, talk to me about that battle, man.
Yeah, obviously something I'm excited about. I always welcome new challenges and new opportunities to go against guys who have done really well in the league. Even though he's only been in the league 1 year, he's done really well. He's had record-breaking numbers for their franchise. Him and his quarterback have a great chemistry and great connection. So I'm excited for the opportunity. As we all know, you get into these games and you don't always get to get that one-on-one matchup. You know, even 90% of the game. So it won't always be that, but man, I know I'm gonna cherish this moment. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. I'm sure he gonna cherish this moment as well. He in year one rookie going to the Super Bowl, being a star for their team. So I'm sure he excited for it as well. You know, he got a lot of confidence. I got a lot of confidence. I've never played him. He's never played me. So it's gonna be an exciting matchup for sure when we get those opportunities. I know I'm gonna be ready for it.
Well, how much of those opportunities will we get a chance to watch now? I mean, you Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you can go with as a coach. I want to take that dude out the game. Let me get him. Have you done any of that with the coach?
Of course. You guys, come on, it's me now. Like
Right.
it's me. Keep it real. That's of course that's what I'm asking for. That's what I want. If whoever you think your best man is, put me on him. Let me help the team win this game. That's what it's all about. But there are different areas where we might have to do something different because it might put the team in a better position to win. So, wherever the game may take us, it'll take us, and we're gonna do what we got to do from there. But you're gonna get to see that matchup. You're gonna have your opportunities to see it, and I'm gonna be ready for them.
I know that Florida stuff got to come out of you. It's just what it is inside there now. But Tyler Boyd over there, those guys are already talking. Tyler Boyd said, hey, those guys got to match up with us and what we have over here. Talking about your secondary matching up with that wide receiver group. How do you see that playing out, those groups going up against each other?
Yeah, I ain't take it as talking smack. I think they know better than to do that. But they right. We got to match up. They got to match up. We're gonna see what's up, man. It's when the pads come on and we get out there under the lights on Sunday, man. It ain't no more talking, man. We're gonna have to play, and that's what it's really about. So just like he feels their team is gonna be ready, I feel like we're gonna be ready as well. And I'm just like he confident in his guys, just like he should be. I'm confident in our guys, just how I should be. So whatever the matchups may be, whether it's me versus Jamar, me versus T, me versus Tyler, or any of our other secondary guys versus these guys, I feel like we have a good game plan. I know we're going to play confident, and we're going to see what happens on Sunday.
Speaking of confidence, that quarterback, man, he has so much confidence, Jalen. I say this kid has a lot of stank in his tank, and you've seen all his little rituals, the lighting the cigar, putting on the glasses, the chain, and the post games. What are you going to do? How can you guys make sure that he is not lighting that victory cigar on Sunday?
It's going to take a full team effort, honestly, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They say defense wins championships, and we need to channel that this weekend. So we need to bring our A game. We know he got a lot of swag. We know they got a lot of confidence. They're a young, talented group. They should have a lot of confidence. But at the same time, don't get it twisted. We got a lot of confidence too. We feel like we got a lot of stars over here. We oozing with confidence as well. So don't forget about who we really are over here. We've been playing some great ball in this postseason, and then obviously we got individual guys who have been great and doing great things in this league for years and years and years. So we're not just gonna all of a sudden change up who we are. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna be ready to play as well.
Well, good luck, my brother. Go ahead home, bring home that ring, buddy. Good luck.
Appreciate you.
Next question will come from Nico Trimboli. Nico, you may ask your question.
Hello, Jalen. Greetings from Argentina.
How you doing?
Fine, luckily. Thank you for the time and being able to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, I wanted to know whether you're one of the best cornerbacks in football. I have a question. Do you feel any extra pressure knowing everybody's expecting you not to allow any catch or yards after catch? Do you play with any extra pressure, or it's just like normal for you?
It's normal. I mean, I've been the best in the game for years now, consistently showing greatness week in and week out. So it's another work day at the office for me on Sunday. I know they're a talented receiver group, but I know I'm gonna be ready. I know the secondary gonna be ready, and I don't really think about what anybody says about what I should do or how I should play. I've consistently been great over the years, so I've shown that I will show up when I need to show up, and that's what I plan to do again on Sunday. And I'm not worried about whether somebody gets a catch or not. Obviously, I'm gonna try to win all of my battles, but when you're a defensive back, you might give up a catch here or there. You might miss a tackle here or there. Like, who cares? You just move on to the next play. You try to win as many of your battles as you can, so ultimately you can help the team win the game. Like, that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Like, we playing for a Super Bowl. I'm not going out there Sunday playing for anything, individualized. Like, I'm going to play for a ring that everybody on this team can also get. Like, that's what this is about on Sunday.
Love your confidence, and I wanted to ask you, having an incredible, powerful defensive line makes it easier for you guys to play in coverage, or like not at all, as quarterbacks like try to throw faster and you should be like more concentrated?
No, it definitely makes our job easier having the D line that we have. AD, best player in the league. Then you got Vaughn, who's been a Super Bowl MVP and been consistently great over the years. You got Flo, who's been great for the past 2 years. He's been here with the Rams. And you got other guys elevating their game. Ashawn Robinson, who used to be a first-round pick. You got Greg Gaines. You got, man, like, we got guys. So we know they're going to do their thing up front, and we got to hold it down on the back end.
Next question comes from James with Pro Football Network. James, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen. First off, congratulations, man, making it to the Super Bowl. Just to get straight into it, you've been an influential figure for younger DBs rising through the ranks, high school, college, Pee-wee, everything. Who influenced you the most on and off the field throughout your career?
Honestly, it's not really like a football player, I would say. It's just like my older brother and my like growing up there. I just always wanted to be a good person like him, and kind of what led me to be as successful in things that I do was always trying to be better than him and make him proud. So I always went hard, and I tried my best in everything that I did. So he always pushed me, and I always wanted to be unique. Like, I never wanted to be just like anybody else. So I know there's role models and stuff like that, and kids may look up to me, but my advice would still be to, like, be yourself. Like, just be unique. You can take, different, like, tools and different parts of your game from certain people. I've definitely done that, for sure. There's been corners and defensive backs before me who I've definitely looked at their game and tried to implement part of that in my game. But there isn't really, like, one person that I've looked at and been like, yo, I want to be just like that, because I've never wanted to be like anybody else. I just want to be myself.
Love it. Thank you.
Next question comes from Mike K. Mike, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen. I hope all is well. Hope the family's well.
Thank you.
I know back in Jacksonville, you used to like to watch other cornerbacks as a student at a game. Who are the guys you like to watch nowadays?
Presently in the league, it's a lot of top guys. I like watching Trayvon Diggs. Obviously, I like watching Xavier Howard. I like watching Marshawn Lattimore, Denzel Ward. I still stay tuned in to Darius Slay. I watch Kenny Moore, especially in that slot. I watch Tyrann Mathieu when he's in that slot, him being a ball. Just to name a few guys. I'm probably missing some that I probably watch and stay tapped into, but those are kind of the guys that are on the top of my head right now.
I know you exchanged some love with Darius Slay recently on social media. What about his game do you like so much?
D Slay, I feel like he's been consistently good throughout the years too. At least since I've been in the league, he's been consistent. He's been well. He's played well. He's made a lot of plays on the ball. He's played zone and man coverage, just built a friendship with him, and we try to support each other. So I'm definitely a fan of his game. He got good footwork, and he plays well, I think.
Thanks, Jalen. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Josh Dubow. Josh, you may ask your question.
Jalen, what were your first impressions when you guys brought Eric Weddle in, and just he surprised you with what he's been able to do coming out of retirement and playing at this level?
Yeah, my first impression was excitement, just a lot of excitement. E-Dub's that's been my guy for a while. Being able to play on the same team as him the year that I got traded here to the Rams was great. Didn't want him to retire, but he thought the time was right at that time to retire. But we stayed in contact since then. He called me, told me he was coming back. I was super excited, glad to have him back, and he's played well, and he's honestly played. I knew he always had it in him. I know he has the smarts for the game and the instincts and stuff, but just him actually being physically in shape after 2 years away from the game and physically able to do everything that he's been able to do has been impressive, honestly.
Did it surprise you at all that he could play at this level still?
A little bit, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Just not mentally or anything like that, but physically from the game, like him really being in shape, him being able to play all of these downs within the game and play well. Yeah, I mean, it takes a toll on your body. So being away from the game for 2 years and then hopping in playoff atmospheres and playing this well, yeah, it did surprise me a little bit.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Stu Jackson. Stu, you may ask your question.
Stu, what's up?
Hey, Jalen, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Just following up on those couple of questions about Edub as well. I mean, what's impressed you the most about just what he's been able to give you guys during this playoff run, beyond just kind of like what you were talking about with being able to go out there physically and do as well as he did? What's been the biggest impact in your eyes?
The biggest impact in my eyes has been his leadership. Immediately, like, still he commands a room. His communication in the back end is like truly what you would want out of an elite safety. It's like he hasn't skipped a beat when it comes to communication and his mental focus and all of that. Being on one accord with everybody, getting guys lined up, all of that. So that's for sure been the biggest impact. Like on the field, in the meeting rooms, wherever, that's been the biggest impact and the biggest surprise. I would still say is him physically being able to do what he's been able to do after 2 years away from the game.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Sean with Rise Network. Sean, you may ask your question.
How you doing, Jalen? Congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl, my guy.
I appreciate you.
You talked about in the past about the importance of having fun when you go to work, and I think anybody with a job will relate to that. Can you talk about the chemistry in the Rams locker room and what it's like interacting with your teammates you have?
Yeah, it's great, man. When you feel like when you can go to quote unquote work and it not feel like work, you can truly enjoy what you do. So that's how it feels around here. A lot of guys are friends, not just because we're teammates, but we've been friends maybe years before we even became teammates, or even after we'll be teammates, we'll remain friends. So it's a good atmosphere, and that definitely has helped us stay unified and have good chemistry.
Sure, thank you, man.
Next question comes from Nick Wagoner. Nick, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen, I know every team at the start of every season says the goal is to win the Super Bowl. It seems like your team in particular this year, took that to another level, perhaps with the moves you guys were making and just how all in you were. Can you tell me what a day was like, just how often Super Bowl came up, how much of a goal it was, and also will it feel like there's unfinished business if you don't get the job done on Sunday?
Well, first and foremost, that's not how we thinking around here. We ain't thinking that we're not gonna get the job done. We don't even want to talk like that around here. But that's first and foremost, and then we living in the moment. And that's kind of how we have went throughout the year. We've kind of left all the Super Bowl talk and Super Bowl aspirations and all that up to like the media and Twitter and social media and all that. We'll let everybody else talk about that. We gotta focus on right now. We gotta focus on working day in and day out, so we can get to that goal. And right now, we still doing the same thing. We gotta work every day until it's Sunday, then we can unleash it in. Hopefully come out victorious.
Thanks, Jalen.
Next question comes from Dylan Schefter. Dylan, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen. Okay, congrats on making it to the Super Bowl. I just have a quick question for you. So, for every kid that plays football, the Super Bowl is quite literally their dream. So, how far back can you remember thinking about playing in the Super Bowl? And what did your dream look like back then?
Yeah, since I was a little kid, I started playing football when I was like maybe 4.5, 5, latest. I had older siblings. Well, I had an older brother, and then I had an older cousin who all played football. So I wanted to play football since I was really, really young, and I always wanted to be really good. I always wanted to be the best in my family, and I've been able to achieve a lot, but I haven't been able to achieve a Super Bowl yet, and that has always been a dream since I was a little kid. I used to always watch the Super Bowl. So since I started playing football at like 5 years old, it's always been a dream. So it'll mean a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Nikki with the Washington Post. Nikki, you may ask your question.
Hi, Jalen. How has it been working with Ejiro over the years, and how has he helped you continue to evolve as a corner?
Coach E has been great, honestly. And Coach E challenges me, and me and Coach E think alike in a lot of ways, and how we think about the game and see the game. So we're able to always bounce ideas off each other, and that's been great. And he's always challenged me to remain focused and be the best version of myself, and I've appreciated that. Obviously, in practice, we do things together as a secondary, but he's usually working a little bit more with the safeties, and I'm usually working off with somebody else with the corners. But uh, he's been a great leader in secondary, in our room. Been a great coach to us, and I'm just happy that we're where we're at now. He's a big part of that since I've been here.
Well, thank you.
Next question comes from Jaron May. Jaron, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen, congratulations to making it to the Super Bowl. I'm with Syracuse University, so I want to bring you back to your ACC days when you were at FSU. Any memories playing against Syracuse and specifically playing in the Carrier Dome? Because I'm looking at your stats and I see that you had a pretty darn good game when you were in the Dome.
Yeah, I think. I enjoyed all my games at Florida State, but I guess when we played Syracuse, I don't think I. Yeah, I definitely did not. I don't think we definitely didn't lose to Syracuse. They had a pretty good team, and a couple good receivers. A couple years that I played, I don't specifically remember their names, but they had a couple good receivers. But I feel like I played well against them, and it was fun. It was a good atmosphere too.
So speaking of that atmosphere, you've obviously played in a lot of cool venues throughout your, playing experience from youth to now, of course. Where would you rank the Carrier Dome in where you've played?
I'm not sure honestly, because sometimes, when I'm ranking certain stadiums, it goes along with the experience that I had there, and potentially the game that I had there, and maybe who was there at the game, and certain things like that. So I'm not sure. It would be hard for me to rank any stadiums right off the top of my head like this.
Next question comes from Jordan Rodriguez. Jordan, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen, how you doing?
What's up, Jordan? How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Hey, you've talked at length this year and been really invested in the overall build of this team, how the roster's constructed. And especially you've talked about the guys who maybe on the outside aren't quote unquote names, and their importance to making the roster go. What is it about some of those guys who do contribute, who are in high profile roles for you guys, who are sort of meeting the moment in that way, and who kind of sticks out to you in that regard?
Yeah, obviously, like everybody talks about, like our quote unquote star power here. The big names, the guys who've made Pro Bowls and All Pros and been successful throughout their NFL career. But we have guys like you're saying who don't get as much recognition, but they do their job and they excel in their roles, like week in and week out. And you got guys who, through adversity, through ups and downs this year, we've had new guys playing different positions and having to come in and play positions and have significant playing time that they hadn't had in the past. And we've been a successful team, so that goes to show you that they've been an important part of that. Like, even, whoever you want to call a star on this team, we can't carry this team by ourselves. It takes all of us. It takes all 11 on the field at once. And then it takes each unit, all three units, to put it all together and be successful and be where we are right now. So, obviously I think immediately on the defensive end, I think immediately in the secondary, guys who've come in and played a lot of significant football for us. Dante Dion and David Long has been in and out of the lineups this year. Even Robert Rochelle at different times this year. And then all of our safeties basically who've been on the roster have played significant football, even now to have an E-Dub come in here and play significant football for us, and Taylor Rapp and Jordan Fuller, who's not going to be able to play with us in the Super Bowl. But if it wasn't for Fuller, we wouldn't be where we are right now. So I immediately think about the guys in the secondary, but then also I think about our linebackers who are super, a lot of people on media and social media that like to be critical of them, but they help us out a lot. They do their jobs. They have a specific role and they do well in it. Troy Reader, Ernest, and you got T. Howard, and then you had Kenny, and he was making plays for us, starting for us, had a significant role, as well. So those are all the type of guys I think of just off the top of my head.
Thank you, Jalen.
Next question comes from Jory Epstein. Jory, you may ask your question.
Hi, Jalen. Jory Epstein with USA Today. You and Eric have spoken about how even before he rejoined the team, he would send you some texts with some tips. Can you share what some of those messages said or some examples of times that he was given advice?
I can't, unless I look at my phone, I can't really tell you exactly what it may have said, but he's pretty detailed. If you know E-Dub, he's kind of a detailed guy. He knows the game really well. And me and him actually think alike in a lot of aspects when it comes to the game, man. How certain things should be played or maybe not played. So when he would see certain things, when he was watching our game on TV, he would shoot me a text, and after the game, I would see it, and I would respond back and let him know, like, maybe why I did something that way or why I didn't do it that way, or tell him that he was right, or, we would just have a little dialogue about it. So that was all good stuff. It was coming from a good place. It was coming from a good friend, a guy who I valued his opinion and loved being his teammate and loved being his teammate again. And then on top of that, he was always giving me encouragement and, trying to challenge me and push me to be even a better leader to the team, to my teammates.
Absolutely. Is there a moment or play, I know he had that tackle for a loss in the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship, that most stands out in terms of showing what he's been able to do coming back on such short notice?
Honestly, it's probably more of the things that y'all don't get to see. Just his interactions in the film room, his interactions on the practice field, all the things that lead us to being able to go out there in these playoff games and play fast and be on the same page and have great communication out on the field.
Thanks, Jalen.
Next question comes from Hector Lazari. Hector, you may ask your question. Hector, you may need to unmute. All right, we'll go to the next one. Next question comes from Martin Rogers. Martin, you may ask your question.
Hi there, Jalen. How you doing?
How you doing, Martin?
I'm good, mate. Just one quick question from me. It's very easy for NFL organizations to kind of play it safe when it comes to the trade market or holding on to draft picks. The Rams definitely did not do that. Now you're sat here with a place in the Super Bowl. How grateful are you for those bold moves that the team made involving yourself, Matt Stafford, and some others?
I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful and thankful for that, for just the opportunity. And like you said, it was bold. It was worth a high value, and so I'm just extremely grateful and hope that I've been holding up my end of the bargain.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Christopher Heidel. Christopher, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen. This is Chris Heidel from Hermiton Radio in Baltimore. I'm a big Florida State fan since I was a kid. What does it mean if you win a Super Bowl on Sunday? What does it mean you being part of an elite club at Florida State that won a national championship and a Super Bowl in your career?
It means a lot. When we won it at Florida State, that meant a lot. It was a moment that I'll always cherish, and it was a great way to start off my college career that whole season. And now being in the position that I am and being a part of this team, my journey has been different than expected, but I've loved every part of it, and I'll be overjoyed and super happy to be a Super Bowl champion on Sunday.
Next question comes from JC Allen. JC, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen. After the news came out that Tom Brady was retiring, you put a tweet out there saying that, you were the last touchdown pass that he threw was on you. And you guys have had your battles going back and forth throughout the years, all the way AFC Championship games, the last 3 years. What's something that impressed you the most and maybe made you better as a player, just being able to go up against someone like Tom Brady during your career?
What impressed me the most, probably the same as everybody else. He's the greatest quarterback to play in the NFL. Just the way he led his teams, and just everything about him, the way he played, it was the greatest. He has 7 rings for a reason, obviously, and playing against him, you know, you always wanted to play your A game, and you always wanted to try to maybe be the one to pick off Tom Brady and be able to save that ball forever, or have a moment that you can remember forever and tell your family and friends and your kids about. Um, so yeah, I mean, those are just a couple things that I think about.
Next question comes from Gary Klein. Gary, you may ask your question.
Just wanted to check in with you to see, you know, what the process was like for you with family and friends and whatnot, getting everything lined up, you know, for who might be coming to the Super Bowl. If that was an easy process, a tough process, and how you navigated that.
Pretty easy for me, Gary. It was. I mean, I have a close circle. I mean, my daughter's mom, dad, brother, and his fam, and my closest friends, and that's really what it is with me. So it was pretty simple, and I don't have an issue saying no to any randoms or anything like that. So, and plus, I got good people around me to help me navigate through all that stuff too. So it was pretty easy for me.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tyler Dragon. Tyler, you may ask your question.
Hi, Jalen. The recent championship success of the Lakers and Dodgers motivate you at all and the team? And have you heard from, you know, members of that organization about, you know, playing in a championship game?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's been a little, maybe an extra motivating factor. It's trying to, you know, the Lakers did it, Dodgers did it. You know, we want to be able to do it as well. So, yeah, it's a little extra motivating factor, I guess you could say. And no, I ain't really heard from nobody.
Next question comes from Stephen Box. Stephen, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jalen, congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl. Go Noles.
Go Noles.
So I wanted to ask you, in terms of receivers that you've gone against this year, is there one in particular that's really been the toughest matchup for you? And specifically looking at the Super Bowl, is there a receiver on the Bengals that you're really looking forward to matching up against?
Honestly, I genuinely embrace all my matchups, especially when it's against top receivers. So, you know, anybody who, you know, y'all would think is a top receiver in the league, or anybody who I've kind of shadowed or followed a little bit during games, I've enjoyed all those matchups. I like those opportunities to go best on best. And yeah, the Bengals have a good receiving trio. And obviously everybody knows how good of a rookie season Jamar Chase has been having. So I'm looking forward to these matchups that'll happen on Sunday as well.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Danilo. Danilo, you may ask your question.
Hey, Jen, how are you doing? Danilo from Torcedores TV Brazil.
How are you?
I'm fine, man. So we've faced great quarterbacks in your career. Now against Joe Burrow, what do you see as the most dangerous thing about this quarterback that secondary needs to be careful about?
Well, like me, I'm a person who I hold a lot of value like on guys who play with a swag and play with a want to and heart, because those are things you can't measure. And he seems like a guy that just plays with a lot of swag and a lot of heart, and he wants it. And that's something that you definitely can't measure in it, and that's something that's contagious. And being a quarterback and being the franchise quarterback of a team, that's definitely, you can see that it's definitely contagious to his teammates, and they all kind of take on that persona as well. And that's kind of just the way that they play. And then obviously physically and talent-wise and skill set, he has it all. He can make all the throws. He can scramble out of the pocket and extend plays, and he has a good chemistry with all his receiving corps, but definitely his main receiver, Jamar.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes today's media session with Jalen. Jalen, thank you for their time.
I appreciate y'all. God bless.